Hi, welcome to Advanced Functions Online. I'm going to take you through today a few of the opening day things that I think are important as we set out on this journey. There's no specific math lesson today, that will begin next week. But that being said, there are just a few areas on the website I wanted to walk you through just to make sure we're all on the same page. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about first was just how you're going to be getting information about the course on a week to week basis. So what I want to do with you is a weekly sort of set of responsibilities. So you'll see this will be available to you coming up on Monday, but just to sort of give us a sneak peek, so to speak, at what it will look like. This course is broken down into lessons, right? There are 4 units, and then each unit has a lesson. And basically, what I'm going to do is go through the lessons myself, make a bit of a point form summary, I guess, of the things for you to do. And then underneath that, I'm going to put, the things, the assignments, the things that count towards your grade. There are a lot of things in the course that are sort of practice or homework, which you should do, but which don't ultimately matter for your grade. So you can decide for yourself, for example, these discussion questions that you're going to see in the lessons. I think they're very important, especially if your goal in the course is to do extremely well, but they're not going to count for your grade, right? Then there's a difference between what counts and what doesn't, and we should know that. Let's look at a lesson quickly. I just wanted to take a quick look here at some of this stuff. So, for me, I think the best way to find a lesson is down here at the bottom, right, where you're looking at the different units under this thing, the content browser. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hide a lot of this stuff for you because I kind of feel like, for one thing, I haven't got to all of it yet. I'm editing it as we go to sort of make it fit. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to kind of look at what's ahead of us because I'm going to keep a lot of this hidden for now. In Unit 4, you can see there are 8 lessons. In Unit 3, there are 12. In Unit 2, there are 6. And in Unit 1, there are 15. So there are 41 lessons all told, and 4 units. I think the best way to approach this is to take a test, take 2 tests, right, on the longer units. So Unit 1 and Unit 3 will have 2 tests. All the other ones will just have 1. And basically, if we've got 80-ish days to work together and 40-ish lessons to do, we're kind of looking for a test, give or take every couple of weeks, right? This is my schedule here, which is still not, permanent. And I'll release these things to you as I get a better sense of them. But for now, just to give you a sort of opening idea, we're going to be looking at 2 assignments, and then 2 assignments this week, or excuse me, 2 assignments next week, right, starting on the 13th, 2 assignments the following week on the 20th, and then the week of the 27th, we'd be looking at taking the Unit 1 test. Now, I just wanted to show, I guess this is not a bad opportunity to just talk a little bit about the way that the course marks are going to work. So, I had said, I'd said on the first, I don't know if you got a chance to see that like teacher introduction thing, but I wanted you to look at this ASH experiment video. I think this video, you can find a link to it in the teacher introduction, right? So like just to go back here for a sec. So like this teacher introduction that I had on the first page, if you didn't get a chance to read it again, it's just kind of a little summary about me and what you should expect from me as a teacher. And anyway, it's this little video here that it's just 2 minutes long. Oh, that's great. It's 2 minutes long, and hopefully that link actually works when you try it. If not, I guess I'll have to look at that, fix that up. But I'm not sure why it wouldn't click there. But anyway, it does work, and you just have a quick look at it. And I think as an online learner, this is especially important to think about, right? I think your most important job every week is to ask questions, okay? And if you're not, I want to make sure things are making sense, right? And that's what I'm here to help you do. Now, your the overall sort of like grades and stuff in the course sort of breaks down like this. We have an exam that's worth 20. We have a CPT that's worth 10. We have assignments that are worth 10, and then we have tests that are worth 60. So again, you think like, okay, we have 6 units, 6 tests, probably about 10% each. Plus we have some assignments every unit, and so on. Now, this isn't really set in stone. It gives you a kind of idea of what I'm thinking of. Maybe I'll make the assignments a bit higher and the tests a bit lower, but it won't change by very much, right? Maybe 5 points, 10 points here and there, just to give you a sense of it. Tests. So what's the difference between an assignment and a test, right? Both of these things you will find under quizzes. Okay, so in D2L they're considered to be quizzes, and the only difference between the two of them is this: for a test, it's going to be timed, and you only get to take it once. For an assignment, it is not timed, and you can take it as many times as you want. I'm only taking your highest grade. So this means you can do your first assignment, let's say, as many times as you decide until you've got a mark that you are comfortable with. And again, you'll find the first assignment when you go ahead and start the first lesson on Monday. But you can see, just to give an idea, it's like here, it's okay, it's about all this stuff about polynomials, and you can go down and it's just towards the bottom. I'm going to try and be consistent with this little icon I've created just under here. Okay, so it's time. So I'm going to try and make this like really clear when we're doing an assignment that's worth something, right? That it says graded assessment, right? So we know we can load it up and give it a try. If you do load this up, right, you'll see that basically it's for the first one at least is some true or false questions about functions, whether something is a function or not, which one of these situations would represent a function, how about these diagrams, and so on and so on, right? So this is like, these are your sort of daily or weekly, let's say, assignments that count towards your grade, and then your tests count as well. Now, the other thing is, during these lessons, I mentioned this before, but just to clarify it, there's a whole bunch of things where it says like, join the discussion, share your thoughts, write down, give an example. You've share an example of a shape that has this specific function, and so on and so on. I really think it is a good idea to do these. Again, I'm going to let you take the lead on things like this, but if you're in this course because you're looking for those high scores and to really master the material, reading the pages and then waiting to do the tests is not going to work very well. You've got to seek out ways to enrich, like ways to verify that you know what you know. Now these lessons, like, they have a bunch of these things, right? They have some discussions, they have some practices, there's a whole bunch of like little sample questions and things like that. So there's ample opportunity on here to do them. I'm just saying I'm not going to be like collecting them as part of your grade. I'm going to say 2 more things here, and then I think we can wrap up for today. It's just really meant to be more of an intro. Next week you're going to start with these first 3 lessons, and you can you do them at your own pace. You do the assignments at your own pace. You connect with me when you need to, and I'll be reaching out if I notice things are like I think someone needs some help. But the last couple of things I just wanted to say, and this is a bit hard to appreciate at this point, but ultimately, when you go to check grades here, you will have a running, accurate sense of your overall grade. Now, like right now, there's nothing in there, and it's not fully set up yet. I'm still kind of working on getting everything up to speed. But within a couple of weeks, we'll be able to take a look at grades, and you'll really be able to see, like, what's my score and how have I been doing, and maybe if there's an assignment I didn't get to or got 0 on because I didn't finish it or something like that, like maybe I can go back and get that done and raise that score a little bit. So I think it's very important that you know your grade all the time, and this is where you're going to find it, okay? So under assessment and grades. There's an even better way of doing this, which is here when you click your name. and then you go to um, progress, right? And that will give you a sense of like all the tests, all the quizzes, like where my mark is and all that stuff, so you can keep on top of that, right? It should not be a surprise when you get your midterm report card, what my mark is in this class, because I've known it all along, right? I've known it from the time I took the first test until the day I opened my midterm report card. Now, there's two last things I want to say. One is that there is no textbook for this course. Okay, the idea is that everything we need is in these lessons, and you'll see that a bunch of the lessons send you to the University of Waterloo's CEMC courseware, which is really quite helpful. I think in lesson 2 is an example of one of these ones where it sends you to the courseware, and that's where your practice is, right? So again, there's a bunch of practice in the lesson, of course, and then there's some some practice here, and then all kinds of it, right? So the practice that we need, so this is the one I was thinking of. So just click the following link for more practice. Click that link. It takes us to the University of Waterloo's courseware, where we've got questions. We can see how we're doing. We can do our sort of homework this way. So there are discussions. There is the CEMC that is related to the lessons that we're doing and the units that we're doing and are linked already. There's also this thing on the first page, which is the activity feed, which is just a really simple place where I'm going to be posting some questions where we can sort of get some discussion going and so on. So I'm going to start with a message, and I'm going to say a bank machine asks for a 4-digit PIN before letting the user operate the account. Is this a function? Okay, and so in this one, right? Again, this is not something that counts for anything, but it's something I'd like you to think about. And what is your opinion about something like this? Do you think that this is true? This is a function or not, right? And you can just go over here to the activity feed, and then you can reply. You can reply to my post and tell me what you think. Okay, so there's practice in the lessons. There's practice from the CEMC courseware. There's discussion areas where you can pose questions and talk to each other and talk to me. And there's assignments. Because you can take assignments over and over again, they're kind of like practice too. They just count, right? So again, if it takes you 6 times to get perfect, it doesn't matter. It's still perfect, right? So that's good. To finish up, we had discussed, we mentioned the point. To finish up, I wanted to say I gave you this little assignment on a quiz for practicing how to upload your written work. I think it's important to try to get that done. I was talking to the people running the e-learning, and when we go to do our exam, we are going to be pretty limited in terms of how we can express our learning through the online system. So one of the goals we have over the course of the year is to learn how to use the equation editor in D2L so that we can represent our mathematical knowledge in a digital format. So every test you're going to have questions that require you to use the equation editor, and there'll be lots of time to be able to get your thoughts in order and so on. But this is a skill we got to work on. So this quiz is here to just allow you to practice using it, and there's a little video that goes with that. You can try that as well. And you can, again, I'll do a little tutorial on it in more detail, as we get closer to the test. But this is something I want to get out of the way right off the bat, is that this is a skill we need to work on, right? So that by the time we get to the exam, we're comfortable, to writing our mathematical thinking in a computer format. Okay, so just I wanted to sort of get that out. We can talk about that. For a number of the assignments and stuff, it's a good idea to get GeoGebra. I get GeoGebra 5, which I'll provide a link to this on the first page. You can use Desmos as well, but I really think you should use GeoGebra. It's far superior. It's much more powerful, and it's the one I use. It doesn't matter if you don't want to use it; you don't have to. But I think it's really fantastic, and I'm going to be using it a lot. So that's GeoGebra 5. I'll provide a link to that. And finally, if you could just take the time to fill out this profile card, which just kind of helps me give me the name of your guidance counselor, for example, the school that you're normally with, and then a parent in the event that I need to contact home. In general, I don't contact home unless someone's credit is at risk or if you're not logging in, right? So those would be the reasons why I would contact home. I mean, I really don't have any other reason for that, but just so you understand why I'm asking for that information. Okay, so in summary, for today, there's nothing particularly we need to do. Hopefully you've had a chance to do some of the orientation over this week. You can finish the orientation if you haven't done it yet. But mainly today, to just look at the profile card, to have viewed this note where I kind of go over kind of the way the course is going to work. And then again, to practice that quiz for uploading your written work, and to really try to get your feet wet with that equation editor, because it's going to be a pretty important part of the way our course works. Okay, and then on Monday, you can expect another message from me with a pretty detailed breakdown of what it is we're going to be doing next week. So you can see I've kind of broken down each lesson task by task. I think we're going to target 3 lessons for next week, which should be about the right pace to keep us on track. And there will be 2 assignments next week that count for credit, where but again, they count. They can be taken again and again. Okay. So lastly, I just want to say I'm looking forward to this. I'm only going to keep the lessons that we're up to available in the course because I still need to edit and improve and tinker with the lessons that are coming ahead. And so I don't really want you to be going ahead and then doing something that I'm not actually asking you to do, right, or not counting or something like that. So just for now, I'm only going to keep the lessons that we need available, but just so you got that sort of bigger picture sense, 15 lessons in Unit 1, 2 tests, 6 lessons in Unit 2, 1 test, 12 lessons in Unit 3, 2 tests, and then 8 lessons in Unit 4 with 1 test. And then at the end, we'll work on our CPT and our exam, okay? And this is sort of the strategy that we're going to pursue. Remember, I'm always reachable. If it's a question about the course, I really encourage you to put it under communication, under discussions. And if it's a personal question or a question about that is private, you can send me an email using the message icon up above. Okay? I look forward to working with you, and we'll see you again on Monday for our first lesson of advanced functions.